Welcome to Titan Table Talk. Our second guest today is Coach Ron Rose. And Coach Rose, if you notice, we changed the name of the show because we're having some athletes on also. It's not always coaches.
Okay.
So I'm sorry you were not the inaugural guest, but you're in on the first. You're in on the first show.
I'm at the table.
You're at the table.
Give me a chair at the table here, Derek.
At the table to do some talking. And Titan Talk, well, we talked with Coach Smith. They had kind of a roller coaster week, 100 points in one game, only 50 in the next. You've had a roller coaster season. You had 3 tough losses and then turn right around and come back with a couple wins. Let's start at Elmhurst. Last Wednesday night, big game there. You won 68-54. They're ranked number 11 in the nation at the time, and you were able to give them their first loss this season. 5 players in double digits. You got to love that.
Well, I think we're taking steps in the right direction of understanding if we're going to develop into a really good basketball team, what does that look like? And part of that is balance. We have several guys on our team. If we're going to get to 70, 80 points, we need several guys in double figures. That's when we're going to be at our best, when there's great balance. And there's great balance in the offensive side of things. There was great balance in rebounding. We spread the ball handling duties around as well. It's just a balanced, versatile group, and I think this week we really kind of learned a lot about ourselves for sure.
Well, in the Elmhurst game, you had 20 points off the bench. Now, I'm teasing that a little bit because 11 of that was from Hakeem Williams, who didn't start, but basically played the role of a starter because unfortunately you lost a player a minute into the game.
Yeah, Nick Roper, really talented sophomore, came down, sprained his ankle in the first minute of the game, and not able to return. We're going to have to play without Nick here for a while. And so then as bad as you feel for Nick, you really need someone to step up and fill that role. And even though you can't really replace Nick Roper, Hakeem has been a guy that has started previously this season and is more than capable of playing starter minutes and did a nice job for us.
Well, as I look at the game on Wednesday night, and I didn't get to watch it because the women were playing at the same time, and I was doing that game. We were putting up 100 points on the Blue Jays. I think the stat was something like we outscored Elmhurst that day 168 to 112 or 110 between the two women's games. But on the men's side of things, your defense, you held them to less than 27% shooting. This is number 11 team in the nation that you did this to.
Well, coming in, they were averaging 95 points a game. And, earlier I talked a little bit about offensively figuring out who we are. I think we've really started to embrace the defensive side of things. We've had 2 really good defensive games in a row. And the reality is, with our size, strength, length, athleticism, we should be a good defensive team, and really the last 2 games we've hung our hat on the defensive end, hung our hat in the rebounding side, and those 2 things have to be consistent for us. The offense, is always going to come and go a little bit, but that defensive effort and rebounding is something that really is a strength of ours.
Well, you out-rebounded them 38 to no, it was more than that. 38 defensive rebounds, so they're 22. 20 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and Elmhurst came into the game plus 17 rebounding. They are a terrific rebounding team, and we had 2 guys get 11 rebounds. Ryan Sroka and Hakeem. Cody Mitchell is debating the stat sheet because he had 9, but it really he got 9 big ones. I felt like he had 13 or 14 for sure, and Cody's been consistent there. You might as well just mark down somewhere between 8 and 13 rebounds every game because he's been crashing the boards hard.
6 of those rebounds were offensive.
Yeah,
those always seem like 2 because it gives you that second chance.
Yeah, no, and he's really playing well. It's fun watching him step up into that senior role this year.
Well, let's go from Elmhurst to Saturday. You went up to Waukesha to take on Carroll, and in that game, I mentioned bench points in the first game. Hakeem Williams, well, he started this game, but again, you had off the bench, kind of a new name for our listeners, Trey Bazell with 14.
Yeah, this is the 5th road game in a row. We've really challenged our guys. It's been a tough stretch. You earlier mentioned what was it, number 3, 13, 11th ranked team,
Yes.
consecutively. And so, we've been challenged here early. And so we get up there, and our guys don't flinch. They don't blink about the road games because we're accustomed to it. And it was so great to see Trey have a good game. He has battled injuries since January of last year, and has slowly gotten his body back healthy and ready to contribute. And what a spark off the bench. He came in. And I think he hit 4 threes, 4 of 6 or 4 of 7 from behind the arc, and they barely rustled the net. I mean, he is, when you watch Trey shoot, you think that's what a jump shot's supposed to look like. It's smooth, it's effortless, and it was really fun. He's such a great young man. The excitement of our team for his success. And not only was it great for the team, his contributions, but just seeing someone who's worked as hard as he has to get that opportunity and then come through.
Well, the stat was 4 for 6 from three-point land for Trey. We talked about rebounding with Elmhurst, and you talked about how well it was. Against Elmhurst, you had 38 defensive rebounds. Against Carroll, you only had 38 rebounds. But on the bright side, Carroll only had 19. You doubled up on them.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to win a lot of games when you do that. And it is something that our guys are really taking pride in. Is that our goal at the beginning of the year? This is as big and athletic as a team as I've coached here at Illinois Wesleyan, and so there's no reason we shouldn't be good on the glass. That has to be a strength of ours, and our guys have embraced it. I think Cody Mitchell's been an elite rebounder for a long time, but we've got several others that are getting into that category, and there are very few games we're going to play where we're going to play someone that we don't have a size advantage. So then it becomes a mentality. And our guys got the right mindset in terms of going to the glass and getting after that basketball.
Well, and I've always believed rebounding is hustle. No, I mean, there's technique to it, but once the ball hits that rim, if you're in the right position, all it is a matter of hustle.
Well, you also see a lot of guys when they get boxed out, they just quit. Mm-hmm. And you never run to a back. You see a lot of guys make the false effort. Someone box out, they run to the back, hold, and then they turn around and run. Our guys are positioning themselves and making second efforts. Like you mentioned, the hustle part of it is that you get boxed out, you don't get boxed out. You make a move, you make a second move, you stay after it, and then our guys are doing a good job of when they can't get it, they're just keeping it alive. And so it's really really fun to see. We've been on both sides of that. It's tough from the other side when that other team's getting 2-3 offensive rebounds in a possession. It can be deflating, and our guys are really embracing that part of the game.
So some other standouts here as I look what's going on. You've mentioned Cody Mitchell. He had 11 rebounds, also 12 points in the game against Carroll. Harrison Wilmson, his shooting percentage, I don't know what it is on the season, but it's got to be around 70%.
It is. Yeah, it's just under 70, and Harrison's just getting better and better. He was really slowed with a foot injury early. It still isn't completely healed. He's battling through that. I don't think we've probably given him enough credit for playing through that, where he's not 100% yet, but he doesn't complain. He goes out there, gives a workman-like effort. It's easy to take him for granted because you just log in those 18 points every game, but he has become a real force on the low block and is a unique talent that a player his size can step out and shoot the three, and we love post guys that have that versatility that aren't just inside, aren't just outside, can do both, and he certainly has done that for us.
So I got to ask, the way your schedule's been, coming up this Saturday, how are you going to get your team ready for the game without the long bus ride?
We might have to jump on a bus and drive around Bloomington Normal just to get you in.
Hop on the interstate, drive to Champaign, come back.
And
just tell them we're somewhere else. We're really not in Bloomington, even though everybody's green and you see Shirk Center.
Well, I tell you, we are excited to be back at the Shirk Center in front of our supporters, and we love the Shirk Center. I think this is been good that we've weathered it and had to get on the road. We've had to pull together as a group. We've spent a ton of time together, but it will be great to be home the next 2 Saturdays. We have North Central this Saturday and Wheaton next Saturday.
And tell us a little bit about North Central. I know we try never to jump ahead games ahead, but North Central is the next game on schedule, so we can talk.
Yeah. They've got a new coach, Todd Reardon, who had been there for 19, 20 years, took a new job in Nebraska where he's from. And so Anthony Figueroa took over. Anthony's familiar with the CCIW, played at Milliken, and was an assistant coach there. And so it's a new system. It's always odd when a new coach comes in and you're used to guarding North Central under the Todd Reardon era, a certain offense. It's totally different. And so, but they're very talented. They've got a MOP type candidate in Matt Hellwig, a sixth-year senior for North Central that had, I think, 30-something on us in the conference tournament last year. His younger brother, Ethan Hellwig, is Division II transfer, was there last year. They are really a dangerous 1-2 punch. There have been games where they've had over 50 combined just between the two of them. So it's a dangerous team. We were able to sneak out 2 road wins, but I think we mentioned this, that the formula is you take care of your games at home, and so we're excited to finally get back home and play a home game.
So this game is actually probably bigger than the 2 road games because you're defending that home court. So there's a shout out for students, fans, come out to the game, show up. You don't play till about 7:15, but show up at 5 o'clock for the women also, and hang around for the men. I guarantee that's going to be a great game, and I'll be peeking in on that also. As our listeners know, I'm not going to be in town that day, but I will definitely be taking a look at that against North Central as we get that 5th man or the 6th man, the band, and the 7th man, the crowd there, hopefully to shake things up. Any final things as we go? Well, I guess I do have one more thing. So North Central with a new coach. So it's really going to shine on the assistant coaches on how well they've done scouting for you.
Let's put a little pressure on those guys. I think I mentioned how fortunate our program is and how fortunate I feel to have Andy Etheridge, Liam Thompson, Bobby Wheat, and Aaron Levin. What a great staff. I mean, incredible guys, basketball guys. Any success our group has goes directly towards their efforts. And so I appreciate those guys, but now we got a little pressure on them. That's good. Keep them on their toes.
I was going to say, I'm not really calling them out. I'm giving an opportunity for you to brag about them because they are that good. They do that scouting. We saw that when they scouted Wesleyan and St. Joseph and some of those other schools that you don't see very often, but had to quick get some film on and do some things. And
critical.
You beat Wesleyan. You took St. Joe. I almost said St. Joe Ogden. That'd be. You better beat St. Joe Ogden since they're a high school team. But St. Joseph, number 13, you took them to overtime before losing that one. So your assistant coaches, I think they do a pretty good job.
Oh, they're great. They're great with coaching our team. They're great in game prep. They're great recruiting. They're again, part of the fun of coaching is the camaraderie of the staff. And, you go through, we talked about a little bit of the roller coaster ride that you go on in any season, the highs and lows. And it's great to be with a group of guys that you enjoy, you respect, friends, to go through those together.
Well, Coach Rose, we appreciate you being on the inaugural show of Titan Table Talk. As the other show lasted about a year, this one hopefully is going to go a lot longer as we do sit around the table.
Well, I'm looking for the coffee and biscuits and stuff here if we're at the table. Come on, Tyler, right? We need to.
Next time, remind us we do have coffee down the hall and maybe some stuff for you to bite on. Keep us all. I don't want to say keep us awake because we all have a lot of energy when we come in here. But Coach Rose, thanks for coming in. We'll talk to you next week and good luck against North Central.
Thanks for having me on, Derek.
That is Coach Rose, and you are watching and listening to Titan Table Talk.